Do not worry about the next person. Stay in your lane. Figure out, what exit you're getting off of. Don't chase nobody. Don't dim your light to be on nobody's stage. Don't dim your light to be in nobody's office. Don't dim your light to partner with somebody. Keep being yourself. God will bring you the right thing and the right person to be in front of you. Because if you dim your light and then get this contract and do this, that could have been the worst move ever. Don't dim your light. Don't dumb down yourself. Don't change to be inside of a room. If that room ain't for you, just go.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Performance Mindset Podcast. My name is Amy Calandrino, and I'm your host. After a decade of providing expert real estate advice to the business owners and investors I serve, I've met some impactful and influential leaders and individuals along the way. So I brought together the Performance Mindset Podcast so we can talk about mindset, business, commercial real estate, creative things, all the things. So if you're looking to grow, you're tuning into the right show. And yes, we have multiple camera angles. I'm with my podcast guest in person. It's kind of crazy. So it's been quite a journey. So let me go ahead and I don't want to miss anything. So let me introduce my guest. So I am excited to have Elec Simon. He's a high energy must-have MC and hype man for business conferences, entertainment ventures, or corporate and educational stages of all sizes. He's an electric storyteller who sets the tone for events. He's Orlando-based now, whoop, 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 with over 2 decades of experience performing while wowing crowds up to 25,000, including off-Broadway and touring productions of Stomp on global music tour stages, on NBA courts, and beyond. Elec is known for having a transformational energy and joy that will make your event a memorable one, where participants leave motivated and upbeat. I met Elec when we were both lifting weights at the gym, and we happened to have matching Converses that day. Now the rest is all history. We don't have matching Converses today, do we? I got my white ones. What about you?
I got mine on when I wore them when I met you. I did that on purpose.
I should have done
that. Yeah, you messed up.
I did.
I wore mine for good luck.
I was going to do that too. I totally messed up. But
it's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay.
But we have you here today.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Hey, everybody.
Woohoo. So let's just start with what inspired you to become an event MC and hype man, and how did you develop your style?
What inspired me was being around my mom backstage. My mom she still is a producer in the mix of stage. She was a stage manager for a long time. I was a kid and watching her have rehearsals and everything, just watching how she ran the shows. And I knew I was going to be in some type of entertainment, as a percussionist, drummer, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just mimicked my mom. I watched her. She wasn't, she emceed some shows, but I don't know. I just mimicked her, and I knew I always wanted to be on the stage. I knew that was my calling, sports and entertainment. That's
awesome to know that. And what age was that, you think?
Or
was it a process?
I was, age 2 to 12, I was watching my mom backstage. You know what I'm saying? I was even at watching the musicians at church and everything like that. And just always I was around entertainment as a kid, but I also played sports. So that was my thing. I said, okay, this is my gift. And I was always drumming on things when I was a kid anyway. So it's I had to put it all together,
I bet you the teachers really liked having you.
Oh, they loved me. I would do beats all the
time.
I was playing on my desk all the time and got told to stop all the time. But some of them teachers that told me to stop seeing me in Stomp, actually. So it was crazy.
That is crazy. It all comes kind of full circle. So you have performed on NBA courts, global music stages. Do you have some memorable moments or lessons that have shaped your approach to hosting?
Just drumming for the NBA has made me look at the court and look at hosting like, wait a minute, because one of our when I did the Cavs, I did the Cavs for 9 years, and our announcer Ahmad is great. He's amazing. I was like, man, I could do this for another team. Like, just emceeing and just getting crowd hype, getting the crowd hype. That's like my specialty. Percussion, drumming, and getting the crowd hype. My job is to keep the crowd engaged the whole event, the whole time. That's my job, and that's what I'm good at. But as far as lessons, doing the halftime shows, it's like, yeah, I'm playing, but it's like, man, I want to see if I can control this NBA crowd, but I'm not emceeing NBA games. I'm drumming. I'm performing actually. So yeah, that made me kind of be like step up my game a little bit more to see how I can do arenas. People behind me, people on both sides, people in front. That teaches you, like, even when you're performing, it teaches like, hey, you have to perform to everybody around you. Usually when I MC events, they're right there. It's theater style, or it's like they're right in front of you. Nobody's behind you.
You have been described as having transformational energy. Can you kind of delve into some of the practical techniques and strategies that you use to infuse the events?
When I walk into an event, it depends what it is. Like when I walk into an event in the morning time, it's like people are tired. They got their coffee, they got their laptops, they got their badges on. They're like, okay, another event, another conference. And then they hear us start playing, me and my percussion ensemble. Or it's just me and my DJ. They hear the music like, okay, this is gonna be different. Okay, we hear music, or they hear my percussion ensemble start, and then they see me jump on stage, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. So they're like, okay, what is getting ready to happen here? I see people, because you don't know what somebody's going through when they're sitting in the audience. Somebody can have a bad day. Somebody could have got bad news that morning, but they still have to attend the conference. So my thing is, I say my prayer. I say, let me touch the hearts of somebody who needs it really, really bad right now. And I just go in there and I just do me. I do me. I never change up for nobody. I just do me and just bring smiles on people's faces in the audience. But I keep the show running. I keep the show going and keep the show energetic, because everybody has attention deficit like I do. I'm everywhere, but everybody's like this on their phone. Like, people tell me all the time, like, Elec, focus. I'm like, okay, but I'm looking at my phone. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. If you don't catch my attention quick, I'm already gone. My mind's already working on thinking about the next email, thinking about the next deal, whatever, thinking about the next show. So that's my job in reverse, being on stage. Like, hey, I got to keep these guys. I got to keep their attention the whole time. And every event I've done, the event planner or something says, wow, we never had nobody keep their attention like that in all the events we did. We're hiring you again next year. We're hiring you again next year. So that's my goal. That's my goal.
Well, and if you don't have someone like you coming to the conference, I just went to a women's conference. It was called the Globe Street Women's Conference. It was really interesting. And I was staying with a bunch of women. And I've never had this happen before, but I ended up with two of my friends, Dalee and Sarah, and we were all riding together to the conference. We were staying in this house together and all that. We actually prayed on the way there, and it was like just our praying or setting that intention. If you don't like have an MC and they're just kind of like jumping into the first presentation, I would say, like, if you're gonna go to a conference and you're not gonna have an Elec, just stopping, whether you're with other people or otherwise, and setting your attention that day, and whether you believe in God or a higher power or whatever, just setting that intention can be so powerful.
Yeah, very, very much. And you know what? I'm gonna piggyback on what you said. I pray every time, and I know different people's leave. Anybody who's listening to this, like, I'm not one to try to force you. I'm just telling you what works for me. Hey, I can still love you. We can still go eat. You don't have to believe in what I believe in, but I'm going to tell you what works for me. And I believe in God. And when I do pray, I can't do it without him. I don't care. I will never shame. I can't do it without him. When I say, hey, I need this, everything always happens in order and happens how it's supposed to happen. So that's very true. Like, I say a prayer before I go on stage, me and my crew. And that's the thing with Elec Simon and Friends, or Elec Simon Enterprises. When people bring me to their events, they say, hey, no, we don't need your percussion ensemble. It's only 150 people. We need you and your DJ. Okay, my DJ plays music. Have all your speakers give my DJ their walk-up music. We're going to have rehearsal the day before, blah, 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 have their script. Keep their bios to a minimum. You don't got to read their whole story, blah, 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 blah. Or some bigger events, like I'm getting ready to do Lewis Howes. I'm his MC, School of Greatness. I have me and my percussion ensemble. So it just, and we fill time during the day in between speakers. After lunch, people's like, okay, we just ate. They want to take a nap. No, we're right back on stage, getting everybody hyped, stretching, doing this, blah, 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 getting ready for that last speaker and them last two speakers for the day. And then the morning time, I'm hyping you up. And in between speakers, like the morning before lunch, it's small little hits. And it's just me just, keeping, refreshing their mind. Like, hey, stay, blah, 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 blah. We have this coming up, blah, 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 blah. Thank you to our sponsor, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just keeping it hype. If they see me hype on stage, they're gonna stay awake.
Yeah.
They're gonna stay awake. That's what it is.
Well, it's interesting too. It's like I think of it almost like you're like an energy source almost for them to keep them like going, and you're helping to like bring that out of them. And I think about your like logo too.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
I was like, it all comes full circle.
And I came up with that logo at 4 a.m. I woke up out of my sleep and I sat on the edge. I was like, something's not right. I was like, I'm seeing something. Because a week before, a guy said, hey, man, you're like a ball of energy. And your name's Elec, right? ELEC. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're like electricity, man. He's like, you kept this conference. He's like, man, I go to this conference so many times. It's like, man, he's like, bro, I started following you. You're like electricity. I'm like, thank you. And I kept seeing a lightning bolt. My last name's Simon. A lightning bolt is shaped like an S. I'm like, Elec, lightning bolt, IMON. So the lightning bolt is the S.
It's so interesting though, too. If you like stop and you kind of listen to people around you or the universe, it will like reveal what is like the right thing. I'm working on a collaboration with one of my friends. We're going to be shooting like a TV show pilot about like the journey of a business owner getting space. Because getting their space is so important, right? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that.
And we have all these tactics and goals and blah, 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 blah for the show. And then like, I'm sitting in church, just like listening. And then I'm looking at this like one yellow piece of like stained glass, because I have ADD a little bit too. And I'm trying to listen.
That's what I mean, you get along.
I have to bring a notepad to like church. Oh, and you see me at the notepad at gym. Otherwise, I'll forget what I'm supposed to be doing.
Wow.
I have to like keep myself like on track. I get so distracted. But I'm sitting there and all of a sudden it's like, oh, the purpose of this is to like, to show how business owners can level up through commercial space. I'm like, that's it. That's what it is.
Wow. Came like a thief in the night. And you know what? And that's a great idea. And I
can't say the name of the show, but it's going to be freaking awesome because my husband has not trademarked it yet.
That's what I was getting ready. That's so weird. I was getting ready to say. I was getting ready to say it. I was like, even though, like, and they don't, we're not gonna cut that part out. But it's like, yeah, watch. I tell people now, I move quietly because people in the world, what people don't know, they can't ruin.
Right.
Everybody who's listening to this, where's Cam? Is this camera one right here? Let me look in this way. Hey, camera one. What people don't know, they can't ruin. Always remember that. So keep stuff to yourself. Move in silence. Don't tell your next move, because nowadays people are trying to take things. So I had to learn that. I had to learn that. I had to I would say, oh, I should do this, and then next thing I know, somebody's doing it. Somebody close to you, and you have to be like, oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I said that. Oh no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. I remember I said it. So it's just like, just keep it quiet, and that's a great idea. And wait till it's done getting trademarked, then you can be like, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to share anything too specific, but everybody's known that I've wanted to do that for a really long time. And because I feel like there's that for residential, but there's not that for like commercial. And I know nobody, even if they try to do it, they don't have the same vibe. They don't have the same clients.
They're not you.
They're not me.
They don't have your DNA. And that's another thing, everybody's going to do something. Everybody's going to have some type of way. Everybody's going to have some type of thing. Brittany back here, she might be an MC for corporate, but she's not going to MC like me. She might have a great way, and I might see Brittany MC and say, "Man, that was great. It was really." She stood on the podium. She uses a podium. She uses a slide. Oh, that's awesome. That's great job. I don't. That's her thing. But then when you see me, like, I have my own thing, but just like your own name is on your license, your own social security number, that's your own identity. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's doing, even if they're trying to do the same thing as you. I never compare. Like, okay. And you can learn from people. You can watch and say, like, I'm sure you learn from people. I learn from people like, okay, well, I do it this way. But I never try to compare or never try to put myself and be like, oh man, maybe I need to do it. Like, no, I'm just going to do me. Every idea, everything today was an idea. This microphone, these headphones was an idea. And I'm sure somebody says, I don't think that'll work. And look, what are we talking about? Understand what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I think if you start to compare yourself to other people, it can be so like, even me, like sometimes I start to, we go to a gym where there's a lot of fit women and I'm like, oh, but I'm at this journey. I just had kids and all this kind of stuff. And it's funny. I was talking to some lady at the gym and I was like, oh, I wish. And she's like, it's fine. It took me like 7 years after having kids to get back in shape. She's like, the trick is consistency. And I'm like, that's so true. That's so true. It's like, if you just do your thing the way it works and you do it in a way that's consistent, instead of like, if you're trying to be someone else, it's going to be short-lived because it's not authentic. It's not real. And you really have to have like your own passion and you have to do it your way. So my way is like, I'm not going to make it to the gym 7 days a week. If I make it 4 to 5 days a week, I'm going to be super stoked. And that's just my lifestyle.
You're showing up.
I think the 8 hours a night sleep is more important to me.
Yes. Yeah. And 8 hours ain't no joke. And you know, it's funny talking about comparing Pastor Mike. Shout out to Pastor Mike Atkins, Grace Orlando. That's our church. And he was like,
Brittany's mouth just dropped. She forgot that.
You love Pastor Mike?
Yeah.
He's the best. Anytime I text, and I hope this part makes it because I want him to hear. Like every time I met Pastor Mike at the gym, had no clue he was a pastor. He had a shirt on that said tactical, something like that, and he told me the story. And he looked like he rode motorcycles. He's bald head, beard. I'm like, okay, he sees me on tattoos, and we just hit it off. We just start talking, and then he throws in, oh yeah, I'm a pastor at this church over here. Just no big deal. So we get invited there for Easter. Me and Carol, we go, and I'm like, that's Pastor Mike. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get him.
Oh, he's not just a pastor. He's the pastor on the Easter stage.
Yeah, so he just like Grace Orlando, you know, everybody there is just great. But anyway, Pastor Mike is like a new angel that just appeared in my life. And I will tell that man anything, I will share it. But anytime I text him on tour or anything, and I say, hey, Pastor, I'm praying for you. Because you're always praying for everybody's down you. I just say, hey, I'm praying for you today. Just I hope he's like, thank you, Elec. The heart, he answers me right back. But what he said Sunday, he said, we need to stop comparing. We've all done it. We need to stop comparing our life to people on social media. And I say that in my shows too, in my school shows, when I do my school assemblies. Stop comparing yourself to somebody on social media because their victory might be going on right now, and you have no clue that their victory might be like this. So if you're just like this, day, like, man, when's my big break gonna come? And then you see them like, oh, money and fame and blah, blah, blah. They could be heading down. Stay there. Stay the course. Get them calluses, just like working out. Stay the course. Let your heart get, you have to go through something to build something. And he said today, clean out your pathway to persevere. You can't persevere if you got things in your way. Old friends, people that do you no justice. Mr. Bobby Castro said this, non-refundable minutes. I can't go. I'm start saying no. No's more powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody's scared to say, we say yes because we want to be known as a good person. We say yes to everything. I learned that the hard way. I can't do everything. I'm going to start saying no. Because soon as you say no and you tell them why, they've already cut you off because you already said no. So there's no reason to explain yourself. Say less. I know I can't make it. I'm sorry. So that's one of my biggest things I'm talking about the rest of this year when I do my talks, my school shows and everything else, is start saying less. Stay away from distractions. Don't open up that dumb TikTok video that somebody sent you. That has nothing to do with you growing. That has nothing to do with you being better. Them 2 minutes you're talking to me about nothing, those are I cannot get them 2 minutes back. Them 2 minutes I could have emailed somebody and got a lead or got another tour or got something else booked. So that's the number one thing that I'm focusing on right now is non-refundable minutes. Thank you. Shout out to Mr. Bobby Castro, my good buddy, Mr. Bobby Castro, who started his business with $1,700, I think, and sold his business for $1 billion. And he's a kid from the Bronx, New York City. Grew up and had nothing. There's no excuse. He's a grinder. He's one of the most powerful people I've ever met in my life. No distraction. He's like, man, I was poor, Elec. He's like, we was poor. But I didn't take that. He said I didn't take no for an answer. So keep that with you. No distractions. Non-refundable minutes.
Well, two things on that. And I love how sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to throw the questions out the window because we've started this wonderful conversation. We don't even need it.
We got red Converse. We don't need that paper.
We don't need it. So,
Tell Brittany.
so back to, I think too, like how you know that if you go to church, like you have a good church home, is like if the pastors are personally like vested in your interests. Like I was at church yesterday and my husband couldn't make it, and I took the two toddlers like on my own. My daughter lost her ever loving mind. There was no getting her. Like she stiffened herself up, and then the two are like fighting and like rolling like you'd see in a cartoon. My two daughters. Oh my God, this is at church, and I'm like, how am I going to get them? One of the pastors, Pastor Rachel's like, hold a minute. I'm going to go get one of my strollers. Your son, keep him in her stroller because he stole her stroller. And then she grabbed, it took two of us like to get her down into it. She helped me roll her to the car. Then I couldn't get her in the car seat. She was fighting me so much. Pastor climbs into my car, like in my front seat, helping me to get my baby in my car. And then she checked on me like an hour later, like, how are you doing? It was the most epic meltdown she had ever had. And it was, and then like my pastor's checking in on me and making sure I'm okay. Like legitimately.
Don't that feel good?
That does. Like somebody actually cares. And I think that's a lot about this podcast and the other things that I do in my life. And we've talked about it, is this intentionality. Is like saying no to those people that just want those superficial kind of relationships. Like I want like those relationships where like it's deep and you really care, like you have with Pastor Mike, and you said Ben Castro?
Ben, yeah.
Mr. Like you have a
Bobby,
real, like,
Mr. Bobby Castro.
Bobby Castro.
Yeah, Bobby Castro.
I mean, it's like having like a good like friendship. Like it's real. It's not like transactional. So
and Mr. Mr. John here in Orlando, he's another one who's been a blessing in my life. Came out of nowhere. He's the Mr. John is just a great guy. He's like a big brother to me. Also Tim Ballard. Shout out to Tim Ballard. You know, Tim Ballard is like a big brother to me. He's getting attacked on every level from the movie Sound of Freedom. He saves kids. He saves children. He puts himself in danger. He's one of the best people. I said, Tim, God gives the hardest battles to people who can do it. And I'll always stand by him because he's rescued so many children. People don't understand what it's like until it's your child that's gone. Then you want to cry and say, oh, help me. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of backlash coming at him because whatever, but that's a whole nother thing. But Tim's another one, Sean Whaley. There's so many people that are in my corner that helped me along the way, along my journey. Lewis Howes, another one. But Mark Evans. But Pastor Mike, Grace Orlando, I'm telling y'all, this man is the realest pastor I've ever had in my life as I'm grown. The realest, because he's like me. I don't like rules. He don't like rules either. We get donuts at Grace. We get donuts, and I can wear my jeans. I can wear my shirt. I can wear my hat. I can just be me. It's giving grace. But here's my one thing, and you might be able to agree. If you ever I sit back and I try to challenge the world. I'm like, yes, I love Grace. I love Pastor Mike. I love my old churches. But if we're all in this together and we all love God and there's supposed to be no separation, why is there a church like every other mile? Oh, you understand what I'm saying? Like, we go here, this is called this, but then y'all call this, but then y'all call this. There's some neighborhoods where there's churches 2 blocks apart. Why are y'all down there and we're down here? Why can't we all just have one big? But we're not talking about separation, though. Right?
I know.
Okay, I'm just asking y'all. I'm just a messenger.
It is interesting because I think to myself, my mom allowed me to explore so many different churches. Like she never made me get baptized. She never made me join the church, although I did attend United Methodist. But then in high school, I went to a Kingdom Hall. I went to Temple. I learned what a Brethren church was. And at the end of the day, it goes down to the 2 commandments. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your might, and love your neighbor as yourself. And that's what I noticed at every single one of these congregations is really, that's what it kind of distilled down to. And I take it up another level is like, I found the churches that like I'm most connected with were those that were like had kindness. Like it's one thing you could say you love, but like, are you kind? So kindness. So,
and it's like, I didn't come here to, we ain't coming here to talk about shit, but it's like, you had me on your show because we're friends.
yeah.
I have, like I told you, I'm your brother now. So if I see you need help, I'm gonna be there. That's just it.
Yes.
Pretty point blank. And vice versa, same thing. Because when I met you, I was like, okay, she healed from something. She's healing. She's an entrepreneur. She's a boss. She has a loving heart. She has to protect her heart because she has a loving heart, but she's still a boss. But you got to protect your heart over here. I'm like, okay, I got to figure her out. I got to figure Amy. I got to figure you out. I had to. I was like, she looks left and right. She looks okay. I was like, okay, I can give that because I'm the same way. So that's why me and you get along because we're both scatterbrain and we're like, hey, okay, yeah, cool. You could be talking to me. I could be like, but I'm listening to you, but I'm thinking about what's going on over here. And even my team, my assistant, like, Elec, focus for a minute. They have to bring me in and say, okay, listen, focus for a minute.
Brittany's laughing off camera.
Oh, really?
They had an intervention with me this weekend.
Oh, really? So
my office manager and my assistant sat down on the couch in here and had an intervention with me. And they're like, Amy, you're just like all over the place. We need to put you like on a program for each day. These are the things you're going to do each day so that we have like consistency and you're not like, and I think people would expect that. Like if you went to go see a doctor, he'd have surgery days and he'd have different days for each thing.
But we're driving we're the drivers. We're driving everybody else to victory. You're driving Brittany to victory.
She's going to give me space. I have time to be crazy. She has blocks where I could just be creative and crazy. From
like 12:47 to like 1:07.
Maybe.
That's your time.
No, I get a few hours. I'll probably like 4 hours, you think, a week or
wow.
something. Yeah.
She needs to take a nap.
And I do naps. You know my naps.
Nap time.
Thumbs up, like, download, all the things, especially if you take a nap. I'd love to hear in the comments who are the nap stars.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, back to it. Like I said, shout out to Pastor Mike Grace. It's helped me as a man, as a person, even jujitsu. Me doing jujitsu make my shout out to Eric Olin, my professor, Sotera, Eric Olin. It made me calm my mind more. It's even made me a better performer, a better person. No road rage, no nothing like that. Because jujitsu it's been a journey. It's making me physically strong. I'm strong, but it's making my mind strong. Making my body sore, but it's making my mind strong, making me think like chess. Just move, just chill out. Just that's how life is. So there's all these things that I tie in to me being on stage now. So my shows are getting better and better. And when I'm emceeing, it's getting better and better. When I'm doing this, I'm not overly, because if something's not right with me on stage, I can't do it. I turn into a diva, a bougie person before I go on stage. But I'm also a renegade because it don't matter. If you gave me a can of green beans, I'm going to play on it. I know how to make some music out of it. But the can of green beans got to be mic'd up the right way. It got what's that?
We test that?
Oh, no. You give me some paper clips. You give me a paper clips or some match or a book of matches. Anything that has a little shaking thing, I can make music out of that. But anyway, it's like, it's just, I don't know. Anytime I'm on stage now, it's like, it's calming me. It's making me like I'm talking to God even more now. I've never left, but it's like, there's always that one person. What did Pastor Mike, he said, nobody needs to listen to everybody, but everybody needs to listen to somebody. Ooh, that man is cold. He is cold, ain't he? He's cold. Pastor Mike is cold. He said nobody needs to listen to everybody, but everybody needs to listen to somebody. So it's like,
you got to have like a path.
You got to.
If you don't have a path, and so like it's interesting is like you got to have like this personal and professional plan for yourself. And even if that changes, I advise like entrepreneurs or friends or anything, you got to like set these goals and like that's your somebody, your goals and your aspirations.
Yeah.
I keep mine posted like up in here and I'm like looking back, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to, and it's interesting. You can do anything, but you can't do everything.
That's
It's the same thing.
No, hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. We'll be right back after this commercial. Are you feeling tired? If you are, because I'm joking. So I took a
I know this would be a great time for like a sponsor message. I think I've gotten to the point in my podcast we'll start doing that.
So here it is. It said the principal. I zoomed in and I took it at church. It says sometimes the best leadership is saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you say no, you are saying yes to what's most important to you. Lord have mercy.
I think behind that family picture that's behind your head, Brittany, I think there's something that says something like that. So
Wow.
It's kind of funny.
Wow.
Behind the family one in the top left.
Have you said no to anything careers for you, Amy? Let me see. What is that?
Simplify your life. Learn to say no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you said no to anything that you wanted to say yes to? Like I've said no to a couple shows already.
Yes. I mean, even my best friend today. I have a really busy week each week. I have church on Tuesdays. I usually do like happy hours and socializing on Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. And then Thursday, I take my son to violin lessons. Fridays is usually like date night or golfing. And the other week I had a happy hour scheduled on a Monday. And I'm like, holy crap. Like I have no time. Right. And so I had to send a text to like a couple of friends. And I was like, hey, I love y'all, but we got to move this to a Wednesday or Friday. I got to keep my socializing on Wednesdays and Fridays. I got to keep Mondays, and I'm calling it Mommy Mondays. Mm. And one of my friends called me this morning. She's like, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, it's Mommy Monday. She's like, oh, that's right. And they understand. But like, you got to like set those boundaries for yourself. Like, and so, cause like my kids will start to ask me like, who's at the house tonight? Who's picking me up? And like, you know, like I want to be as like hands-on with them as possible. Wow. And I'm in a fortunate position in my business that my phone doesn't stop ringing. And like, I have a lot of people that want to have my help, but I can't do all of it. Or I can't just wave a magic wand and do it as quickly as they'd like. So I had to like set some boundaries so that I'm a good mom, I'm a good wife, I'm a good friend, I'm good to myself. But yeah, that's what I say no this morning. It's like, and I really want to, I'd love to, but it's gonna make me tired. It'll make you tired. And you have a lot going on, and I prayed for you ever since we met. Oh, you get to see my wall in here of all my different business ventures and things that I'm planning and all this stuff. Yeah, I pray for you, and it's like and I just thank you for having me on here, and then like, and then last thing I'm gonna say is, when me and you met, he's like, what is your plan? It's like, I'm on the road a lot, I'm gone a lot, do a lot of events, but God brought me to Orlando. I'm an Ohio boy, Canton, Ohio Valley. God brought me to Orlando for a reason, and I don't know what it is, and we've been here almost a year and a half now, but something like I know Pastor Mike's one of them. I know that, but like something's getting ready to happen, and Mr. John is one of them. So you're one of them. I mean, so there's people, my jiu-jitsu coach, there's people here, like there's a reason, but it's like when it comes to events and conferences, trade shows, events, conferences, anything, it's like, this is the Mecca. And I used to come here to MC stuff. Right. Now that I'm here, it's like, okay, does he know I'm here? But I do everything on the road. So that's my thing right now. Just trying to do half here, half on the road. And then maybe work it down to where maybe like a third of it's on the road. Exactly. Yeah. A third of it's on the road. And then you can pick and choose like which ones you want to do on the road and be like intentional about that. And I just started touring with Jade Simmons. She's a keynote speaker. She's a powerhouse from Houston. And I do her opener, and then I introduce her. Wow. So I MC her. She's a powerhouse, and she's like, Elec, I'm taking you with me. Awesome. So it's like that, things like that I'll always do, but it's like Orlando, I'm trying to just I want to be home more. I'm tired of travel. I just want to ride my motorcycle. Listeners, anybody have anything coming to Orlando? It'll happen. Just like we said, it's going to happen. It's like, it's funny. It's like I'll write something down as something I like want to have like happen, and it'll start to like manifest itself. It will come together if you're doing like the right thing. Yeah. And I have my vision board on my phone. What's that? I have my vision board on my phone.
Look at it every day. And I love you, Carol. I love the queen. Yeah, I switched from our picture to my vision board. Sometimes I got to just do the vision board for a month straight. I got to keep it up there. So that got to be the first thing I see when I wake up. Last thing I go to bed, and throughout the day, I need to see that.
Well, and you should be around other people that are also that way. So like back to the conversation about going to the conference and we were praying in the car. My friend Elec, she keeps her goals and her visions like right there on like her phone and has that intentionality and thinks about it. And I go back and forth. I like to look at my kids, so I keep switching it back. I gotta look at them. But then when I come home, I can just stare at it on my wall. So
right.
Yeah, all the different things.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I thank you guys. I don't want to.
I want to talk about one more thing.
Yeah,
if you want to. So it can't all be sunshine and puppy dog tails. Can you talk about a difficult experience that you've maybe been through that has really helped to shape you and your mindset and some adversity that you've had to go through?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Be careful who you vent to, because a listening ear is also a running mouth. And there's vents in every room. So what you're saying is going to go to, and you think people will have your back. I just posted something the other day that said, avoid people who are close to people that dislike you. Avoid them. I have a lot of friends, a lot of people that work with me, a lot of people that do shows with me, a lot of people that I hire, a lot of people that I joke and clown with. And they can say that they have your back, but I don't. There's only a couple people I know that's my childhood friends that would never let nobody bring my name up in the room without them saying, oh, hold up, speaking for me. Stay away from people like this, too. Here's another thing. I know a lot of people like this. People that, I love them, but I know they're like this. If they know the truth, they're still saying, hey, man, I don't know. If I know I'm in Amy's office doing her podcast right now, and this is a microphone, me and you both know we're sitting here, and then this microphone disappears, and somebody comes in here and say, hey, Elec, was there a microphone in here? Hey, Elec, was there a microphone? If there's not a microphone here, hey, Amy, you're getting fined $200 if there was a microphone here. And then your friend, your so-called friend, does like this. Hey, I don't know. I just want to stay out of it. I know a lot of people like that are close to me that I know. And it's, God rest his soul, one of my best friends, Kenny, who passed, he was like that. I don't lose love for him, but there's a lot of people I'm around that are like that. They'll say, oh, I love you. I got your back. I'm going to climb. Okay, that's cool. But there's only a couple people I know in my life from childhood. If you say and I'm vice versa with them. I'm not with everybody. If you say my name in a room, they're going to say, oh, hold up. Wait a minute. No. He drums like this. He plays like this. He sings like this. He does like this. They're not going to say, oh, okay, well, I'll let him know. Or they're not going to say, well, I'm staying out of it. They just keep it business.
Yeah.
Keep it, hey, what's up? Keep it moving.
That's that superficiality.
Come on. I'm telling you this too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this too. Always remember this as a business owner, entrepreneur. What people don't know, they can't ruin. Don't tell your next step. What people don't, if I know everything, I'm going to try to, believe it or not, people do pray against people trying to, because they just want to see you fail. Some people might not even like your post, and they know it's a dynamic post. They're watching you though. Oh, they're watching. They're watching. Just look at your story, because they look at your story, and then you see a post. They see it. Trust me. So my last words to anybody out there: do not worry about the next person. Stay in your lane. Figure out. You know what exit you're getting off of. Don't chase nobody. Don't dim your light to be on nobody's stage. Don't dim your light to be in nobody's office. Don't dim your light to partner with somebody. Keep being yourself. God will bring you the right thing and the right person to be in front of you. Because if you dim your light and then get this contract and do this, that could have been the worst move ever. Don't dim your light. Don't dumb down yourself. Don't change to be inside of a room. If that room ain't for you, just go. That's all I got to say.
You can't drop the mic. It's attached.
This is attached, and it got the gain on there. Brittany said it got gain and volume. So I can't take it apart. Sorry, but I know your shoulder is hurting right now.
I'm good.
I know your shoulder is on fire. Is it hurting?
Anything. little bit.
I'm sorry. That's your workout.
Exactly.
That's your workout. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Brittany. Everybody, that was Brittany. So
I'm halfway through my book, and there's a bit about that is like, changing and being a chameleon to what you think like people want you to be. And you spend all that time thinking, and then that's taking up all this brain space, and then it keeps you from doing all these creative things and leveling up. And when you let go of that, and you let go of that whole burden, like how much more like freeing and powerful that all is. It's incredible.
I need to add that to my book. I'm writing a book, Ghostwriter, Miss Jen. She's in Ohio. She's in Canton. My book is called Elec Simon Says.
I love that. It's great.
That's my title. That's my title. Elec Simon Says.
When are you planning to drop it? You don't know.
I don't know. Point. It's just, I got to pray about it. I wanted to do 2024, but books are tough because you have so much that come up in your head. It's like, oh man, I want to put this down. That's why I have a ghostwriter. That's why I just talk and she just goes.
That's what my person. And then I'll sometimes do like train of consciousness, like in somehow.
Right.
I finally got away from the kids and I was flying out to California and I got to have a few cocktails and I was just flowing at these ideas. And I go in the next day and she has a whole cohesive chapter. I'm like, how the hell did you understand that? And I'm like, all right, I guess you're meant to be for me.
Right.
But we're trucking. I just decided that I will probably write multiple books and I can't possibly cover everything in one book. And especially it's a book about not being perfect. So that I was like, I'll just get it out. If I have to do more. You think about John Maxwell. I mean, how many books has he done? I mean, you're young. Like, I wouldn't try to fit it all in one book.
Yeah. You're right. And thank you for saying that. That just helped me. Thank you, God. But it's like, no, my book's going to be, what's a simple book? 100 and what pages? Like
150. A lot of these are like 150, 200. Look at this Tool of Titans by Tim Ford.
Like the autobiography. What's it called? It's
like a biography.
It's going to be kind of like that. I'm just telling my story. Just keeping it simple, sweet. But I want to have it out by next year, by 2024. I want to do it I want to have it out by my birthday. My birthday is September 21st, which is the National Day of Peace. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you remember the 21st night of September?
I'm not going to sing.
See, I want to have... I want to have it out on that time, Brittany. I want to do it on that.
Did you see what coffee cup I picked today?
Be a light for all to see. Go ahead, girl.
I didn't even plan that.
You didn't wear them red Converse, so I know that. I'm going to put that out
there. Okay. All right. I made a mistake. So, was there anything else you want to cover?
No.
Typical day? Are we good? I think we landed.
We landed everything because it's just natural. You had your boy on there, and you said, I was like, okay, I'm going to be.
Yeah.
When people have me on their podcast, I don't get into a character. I just talk. Because somehow they want people, believe it or not, they want the authentic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're not buying views. People want to hear the real thing because we are all people. Do not look in the mirror and hustle yourself. Don't think you out here doing something big. Stay humble. Because all that stuff that you're doing, you can get taken away from you like a blink of an eye. Always remember that. Stay humble. Quit looking in the mirror like, hey, I'm the stuff. Don't hustle yourself. Just don't confuse movement with progress. Denzel Washington said that just because you're busy, hey, I got to do this. You ain't got nothing done. You ain't got nothing done. So I focus now on what I got to do. I put my energy towards one thing, and even though my brain's going crazy, I put my energy towards that, and I master that. Before I was moving, I'm busy. I got errands, and I look at the end of the day, like nothing got done. I was just moving, just like on the treadmill. You walk on the treadmill, your butt ain't going nowhere. You're staying in the same spot.
Yeah.
Don't confuse movement with progress. That's another thing.
I'm gonna write that down. That's really good. Well, how do people find you?
Find me on all social media platforms at Elec Simon, ELECSIMON, at Elec Simon on all social media platforms. YouTube, Elec Simon, ELECSIMON. That's it. Simple and plain. And if you need an MC for your event or percussion ensemble or a DJ and an MC, I'm your man. Yeah.
Woohoo! All right, friends. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to download this episode, comment, all the different things. I appreciate you tuning in, and here's to us continuing to go beyond.